Chat Podcast. We are back again.
It's just
like every fucking week. With duetting again. We've had to change the day we do this for certain reasons, but which means sometimes half of us can't be in on this, but there we go. We will prevail. We will crack on. So you've been in, Tom. How's life treating you?
Always busy.
Tom's getting married soon, so
it's monopolising my time.
It's fucking
monopolising my time. All my annual leave is currently going on Alfie going to nursery. Going to have a look around nurseries and looking at shoes and things like that for the wedding.
Nurseries and shoes?
No, wait there. Looking at women's shoes.
All right,
at the wedding. But that said, we why we couldn't do it Sunday, we were getting measured up for the suits.
Oh, right, yeah. So real life is kicking your ass at the minute. So big
Awful.
day June, innit?
June 15th, yeah.
June 15th. Fuck me, Tom.
It's gone right quick. Remember when
It's
I
March
said it?
now, mate.
I know. I can't believe it. It's gone by so fast.
I haven't had my invite yet, though. What's going on?
I sent you an invite on Facebook, James. That's how it's
That's
done
the
nowadays.
modern way.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd probably save a lot of money, wouldn't I, actually?
Well, a
not
lot
bloody
of time
printing
and
off
hassle.
stuff.
So what I did, I created a group for people who were coming in the night. Just asked James, a couple of other guys.
I was expecting some chariots and horses to pull up, and then some, guy looking all Victorian to step out with some scroll.
No,
you've cordially been invited.
I've got a nice photo of the castle.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. See, she's in a castle. But there we go. Right, talking about castles and old people. Scientists have created a time machine, Tom.
I said it's going to happen in our lifetime. It's going to happen,
Did
James.
you know? So here we go. Scientists have created a time machine that has reversed direction of time. Now, I was led to believe that it would be possible to go forward in time, but not back through certain laws of physics. But apparently, in startling news, scientists have somehow managed to reverse the direction of time using a quantum computer.
That's amazing.
I love a quantum
James,
computer.
it's going to happen in our lifetime. We're going to be going on holidays.
Imagine rendering
back
a
in
film
time.
with a quantum computer. You're battering it.
You've done it, like you press the button, you'd be like, "Wait, is it done yet?"
It'll probably render your future projects.
Yeah.
So researchers working with the quantum computer use subatomic particles and observe them traveling back in time, appearing to break a cardinal rule of physics. Their experiment defies the second law of thermodynamics, a rule of physics that governs the direction of events from the past to the future, with time running in one direction. Negatively charged electrons reorder themselves in their original order after being scattered. The Russian scientists likened their achievement to hitting a triangle of balls racked up on a pool table, scattering them across the table, what? I don't know what that is, and having them reorder themselves in their original shape. To an outside observer, it appears as if time is running backwards for the subatomic particles, achieving the equivalent of a time machine. The time machine is a quantum computer using electron units of information called qubits, which can be modified. Lead researcher Dr. Gordy Lezovic, who heads a laboratory of the physics of quantum information at the Moscow Institute of Physics. God, it's all a mouthful, this article. Physics and Technology said, "We have artificially created a state that evolves in a direction opposite to that of the thermodynamic arrow of time." Fuck.
That's awesome. James, it's going to happen in our lifetime. James, that is amazing. Like, I've always said time travel's possible.
See, now this, I mean, we've more so people who are like nostalgic like me, always dream about going back in time and seeing this, and a historian, a fan of history like yourself. I mean, I probably go back to the 80s and watch like Nightmare on Elm Street in the cinema. You probably go back to 1066 or whatever. I wouldn't use it to its full potential.
Yeah, if you go back in time, you would go back to the 80s.
Probably, if I had a really good meal last Saturday, I would go back in time just to read that. Yeah.
So if you
it'd be wasted on me in so many respects.
You just imagine the possibilities.
Oh, it'd be huge. I mean, I don't know what, it just seems like technology now is just really advancing so fucking quickly.
It's amazing.
It's like really like moving so fast.
Yeah.
Things which we didn't think were possible.
Well, it was that stat that I was saying before about the first flight being in like 1903 or something, the Wright brothers.
Yeah.
Then in the 60s, they went to the moon. So they went from literally just getting off the earth, off out in the air to flying to another planet in 60 years. That's someone's lifetime easily.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like when you kind of get used to something and then you just do it like so quick and without thinking it. And that sort of seems like with science and technology, we're so used to creating and finding answers to these puzzles and riddles and breaking this and discovering now. It just seems to be becoming more rapid. Almost like we're just like dicks in our hands go, fucking yeah, we'll do time machines, it's fine. You know
Easy.
what I mean? Easy doing it, man.
No, it's amazing. I just think it's amazing. Just imagine, James, right? Like my nan was born in the end of the First World War, 1940, the beginning of the First World War, the end. Either 1914 or 1918, right? In her lifetime, like, my nan lived in a tiny village. She was from County Durham. And she literally, like, went for somewhere where everyone was white. She'd never seen any other colour of skin apart from white in her life. And people didn't travel, did they?
No.
You stayed in the same... My nana was unusual because at 14 she went to London. But almost all her childhood friends lived and died in the same place. They never left the place. So my nan went from seeing literally like nothing. When she first saw the Zeppelin aircraft, she thought it was aliens. She just didn't know what it was.
I can imagine, yeah.
She'd never seen anything like it before.
I just think nowadays it's just... It's happening so fast. I just don't think. I mean,
but for people like us, we embrace because we are technology guys, aren't we?
Yeah.
But we love it. But for some people, it could be scary.
Well, I think for us to a certain degree, you know, if reading that out, like fuck me, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But think about it. Imagine we had the ability to go back in time.
Yeah,
it'd be like butterfly effect.
It would be amazing, but.
Because that's in it. There's the potential hazards. We'd fuck. I mean,
but I've got a theory.
Think about
this.
what we do to the ocean, right?
Oh yeah,
we fuck it up. But there's all like Walker's crisp packets from the 70s floating around killing dolphins, right? Now imagine we could fuck up the timelines, our the whole fucking timelines of every single fucking, because it's probably like multi-universe. I don't know how it works, like multi-universes or whatever else. But we'd fuck that up.
But
double knotted.
I've got a theory on this, right? So if time travel is possible, people have already gone back, haven't they? So we're living in the result of what they've done now.
What this is the head fuck, isn't it? How do you know, like yesterday or this timeline now, which we're experiencing,
wasn't
the original? I mean, you know. We could have been millionaires in a mansion and somebody fucked the timeline and we're stuck here thinking, fuck, where's the money, bitch? You know what I mean? But that's the thing. How do you know? I suppose like we wouldn't know, really, would we?
But assuming that now they have technically proved time travel's possible. So assuming that's a true story, but
wouldn't there be evidence of it? Like
how would it be though?
Well, I suppose there would, wouldn't it?
No, just imagine. Say there was another Hitler, right? And then say I was the next Hitler, right? I'm not, but say I was the next Hitler, I wouldn't get to the stage where I'd be affecting anything. They'd probably just kill me when I was freaking having shit or something, wouldn't they? Or just snuff me out or blow up my car. Do anything, blow up my house, set my house on fire before I got to a stage where I was doing bad things.
See,
so
that's
you'd
the
never
thing.
know about it.
When you start thinking or questioning or delving into this topic of time travel, it's a fucking head fuck.
It is. Yeah.
And there's so many theories of it. And this is what worries me, because if we do manage to achieve it at some point in the future...
I think it's totally possible. I think they will.
In fact... I'll say this now. If time travel is possible and you or I have chance to prove it, we should walk through this door right now and say hello to ourselves. Our future selves, travel back in time, walk through that door right now and say hello.
Well, if Chris walked through that door now, we both shit ourselves.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I just, whether it works like that, I don't know. But yeah, because
I think it's...
you've obviously seen those videos of... supposedly, evidence of time travel.
There was one guy, I don't know if we spoke about him in the podcast, I can't remember, but he reckoned he went under his sink.
That is
Did
he
we talk about
Scandinavian
him?
guy,
That's
was
right.
it? Yeah, and he met him. He took a video of him with his older self.
Yeah.
They both had the same shitty tattoos.
What's the chance it was a doppelganger and he's like, mate, I reckon we can make some money out of this.
It's probably his dad or something. You know?
Yeah, it could be anyone. And I don't know, he just looks like him. There's no
In
context.
fact, we need to check that out and just see if it is actually proven to be bollocks.
James, okay, so we're presuming time travel is possible.
Okay, yeah.
Do you go back or forth? Do you go in the future or the past? And where do you go, James?
How many times can I do it? One and only, is it, or a couple?
Yeah, one and only.
Oh,
but
fuck.
see, you'd want to... See, this would be... You'd need a lot of time to do it, wouldn't you?
Well, you have a lot of time in the world. We've got a time machine.
Yeah. No, but you need a lot of time to think about... Because you'd want to benefit from you, wouldn't you? Well, and you'd want the easiest...
Well, you could either go back in time and... we have discussed this before on the podcast because one of us said dinosaurs,
Well, that'd be scary. No, my luck. I'd freaking...
Yeah, but that's the thing. Do you go back to a scary time where you get killed? I mean, if you drop in the middle of the Battle of Hastings, who knows what could fucking happen. So it depends really on the circumstances. Are you a hologram? Are you actually going to be there?
Physically there.
Could you get back? Are you there for a short period of time?
So this is you can go back, make whatever influence you can, and then come back.
Oh, I'd be too afraid to, I think.
No, James, you're not thinking sensibly, James.
I suppose I don't think I'd want to go back anywhere too dangerous.
No, it could be yesterday, it could be last week, it could be.
I'd probably like to go. I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest. I don't think I'd like to go forward in time, though, just in case I see something I don't like.
Yeah, I think I would like to go back to the biggest ever lottery winning, Euro lottery winning.
Yeah.
And I'd get the numbers first. I'd do my research and then go, right, we'll go back to a day before.
Yeah. Kind of like Back to the Future with the, what's it called, book.
Yeah. But wait, how would that work? It would have to be a week that no one else won it as well. So the biggest amount before someone won it.
Yeah, so you go back to like the fucking, I don't know, the Monday before the Euro Millions and go, by the way, it's this, and this. You pick that ticket. You know what I mean?
Sell your house, quit your job.
Yeah, and then you'd have to just you'd split it 50-50.
No, because you do the week before someone didn't win it, wouldn't you?
All right, yeah, you could do it like that. Yeah. We'd have to share it, wouldn't you?
100 million, yeah.
Well, just on your same trip, go find the person who won it, smack them across the head, nick their ticket or whatever.
Or just nick their wallet.
Or cause them, so they can't get a ticket.
Yeah.
If you're that much of a cunt, you do it. But, yeah, there's...
Because people always go, oh, what I do, I'd go back and I would... I was listening to something before and the guy was like, I'd go back and I would become the Beatles manager or I'd become...
Yeah.
But you think that's too much freaking hard work. You want the easy money, James. You want something...
I mean, would you... But then, there are people out there who would go and speak or see a loved one, which is no longer here. You know what I mean? You
James,
could go do that.
They ain't thinking straight.
Money.
Making it rain.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. You could possibly do that. Or you could walk around. Like, I got a fascination with it. I love the 80s, the horror, the music. I love all that shit.
James, the lottery won the round in the 80s, James.
I know, but like...
Especially the Euro lottery.
What's more valuable to you? That's the point, isn't it?
James, if you were won 100 million quid, you could live in the 80s for the rest of your life. You could just decorate your house.
Yeah, but it wouldn't actually
nostalgia.
be, you wouldn't... I mean, walk around here, like we see all this changes happen around our, local area, and I don't like it.
Oh,
I know
if you had the Domino's up there, you'd like it.
Yeah, but then I would miss, like, I walked out from the back, like, the whole, the old shopping centre where we used to live, it's like this eyesore from the 70s, and a lot of character, but it's slowly, nearly been knocked down. Yeah, yes, it was good stuff. But that's been knocked down now, not totally, but nearly all knocked down, and they bringing in new shops and whatever else, which is good, good for the local community, different shops and all that kind of stuff. Jazz it up. But I walked out from around the new shops to the back of the pub, and usually when you'd walk out from the pub, you would look to your left and there would be the chip shop and then the entrance to the old shopping centre.
Yeah, I remember them.
And that was all gone. And it was just
so
like...
is the chip shop still there?
Down the bottom, I don't know. No, this is the old chip shop, which used to be there.
Yeah, so
and it
all
was
that's
kind of
gone
like,
now,
yeah,
is it?
all that's gone. And all it was like the back of like a new building. And it kind of felt like, almost like they're seeing it like is it Back to the Future, where you kind of walk around and
Yeah.
things were there, aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
And it's really feeling like,
It's almost
it's horrible. It was gut-wrenching. It was...
a conclusion, isn't it? It's
yeah,
almost like
yeah.
a final...
Yeah, and it's gone now.
it's a
But what I
finale
did,
now, isn't it?
what I did a few years back is, knowing if this would happen, is I took my camera and I took some shots of the old building and the old shopping centre and all those buildings which aren't there anymore. And I took
Yeah.
loads of pictures, so I've got those somewhere. So
God, I remember the mouth when I was in high school, and it was depressing then, James.
yeah, I know, but like,
It served a
it was
purpose.
part of.
Yeah,
I think I'm just a nostalgic twat.
yeah.
That's what it is, and I just get really kind of.
James, nostalgia ain't what it used to be, James.
I know. Even nostalgia's changing, isn't it? You can't get nostalgic as well on fucking Facebook.
Yeah, but no, I remember it the way it was, and the thing is, I think it's a good thing. You know, you move on, you evolve. There wouldn't be a Domino's pizza in the mouth for James.
That could be quite bad though, mate, because you know I like to eat, and I could be literally fat as fuck.
In a year's time,
Oh mate, I'm telling you, but like fucking Rick Waller part 2, just trunking it in you like wearing a fucking tent because I can't. My clothes fucking fit.
but I think they did win in Penn Twin, and I think it's really it's
Yeah,
it's
no,
really popular.
it is nice to jazz things up, but it was outdated. But I just miss it. I just miss it. Anyway, what's next on the list of?
So wait there, James. So we haven't come to any sort of conclusion. What you would do? I'm going back.
I don't know,
in
mate.
time,
I'm fucking torn
a
over
week
it.
before the lottery, the Euro lottery, the biggest ever winning. Oh no, not even a week before.
Yeah.
The Monday before. Quit my job. Fucking.
Well, you could. I mean, yeah, you could do that. I mean, if it's a once in a life, if it's you could only do it once. Perhaps you would think, right, okay, let's
I would
use
sort
it
your
to.
family out, your children out. You'd be loving. You'd be loving it. Sat in a mansion writing film scripts all day, James.
Yeah, no, that'd be
build a
that'd
big
be pretty
studio.
sweet. All right, we'll do that then.
But we can't both do it, James. Not the same day.
Why?
We'd have to plan this out.
Well, you go 1 week, I'll go the following. It's fine.
No, because you'd only have about like 10 million quid then, wouldn't you?
No. You just go like, well, it doesn't matter. We go at the same time, but I can go further back. You can go more forward or whatever. There's ways of doing it, Tom.
James,
You got a time machine.
You'd go. I go the Monday, and you go the Friday before.
Yeah. Yeah. There was. Yeah. No, it's very interesting but very worrying. I think.
I think it's exciting. I think it's.
Yeah, but again,
exciting.
like anything like that, though, if that technology gets in the wrong hands, Tom.
Yeah, but any
I
technology.
mean,
is
what
isn't it?
if a Remainer gets hands on it, she goes back in time and changes the whole Brexit thing?
Yeah.
We'd
Right.
be fucked, Tom.
Not as fat as this guy.
Let's go.
Actually, a woman. So listen to this for a story, James. So a woman shot dead on the street wakes up as she's about to be taken to a morgue. So.
Fuck.
So the white suit of forensic police officers were collecting evidence at the crime scene where Carmen Andrea Mendez suddenly started moving her hand. So a woman believed to have been shot dead stunned crime scene investigator when she suddenly started moving, and as they prepared to take her to the morgue. Imagine that, James.
Shit.
What happened in Western Colombia? They presume she was dead, about to take her to a morgue, and she starts moving.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
Anything else in it? Did she say anything after? Is she still in recovery? Or?
A bullet had brushed the right side of her chest, and she'd been shot in the leg. Oh, so she was shot twice. Jesus Christ. Basically, she's undergoing tests, but so far we've not found anything more serious.
So who pronounced it dead then?
So State Health Secretary Nelson Sinestra has said the police officers assumed she was dead, but not bothered to check her vital signs. Jesus Christ.
Okay, no.
You think that's part of the course, though, isn't it? If you see someone laying there,
I mean,
with blood to stab
you're in
wounds-
Colombia. There's been a shooting. There's blood
Yeah.
everywhere. She's laying on the floor. It would help to have a look, though, wouldn't it? You know.
Well, basically, yeah. So after that, she was she had been rushed to hospital, where she was being treated by doctors, who described this situation as stable. So imagine that.
So she'd been shot twice. They didn't bother checking.
They didn't bother checking.
Thankfully, no fatal wounds.
Well, they took her to the morgue. Imagine that, James.
Fucking hell.
Like I was saying here, that's the kind of job, right? That's the kind of job you always assume. You'd be like, oh, I'd shit myself if you don't jump up or woke up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Although you knew she was dead. In this case, not. She wasn't dead.
You'd assume, yeah.
9 times out of 10, well, 99 times out of 100,
Yeah.
you would assume, or probably more than that.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are, like we said earlier, there are these conditions where people's heart rates have fallen so low.
Yeah.
That, even when they're checked, they're thought to be dead, and people have been embalmed alive. They've
That'd be
been,
horrible.
people where they're kind of, they've been on the slab and they've been slowly cut open. And I think it was a story of a guy and a woman.
Stop
No,
it.
but there was like,
Jeez.
I think it was only because there was subtle movements and there was noticed that they stopped cutting into the skin for the
Jesus.
autopsy, and they managed to bring them out. And that's scary. That those things fucking happen.
They do happen, and that's my biggest fear: being in a coma or something, and then be like, right, we're going to turn the life support machine off.
There's some dirty bastard who's into like unconscious men.
That'd
And
be
you're
the
laying
least problem,
there,
James.
you're laying in your fucking bed, in your coma, and they get, I don't know, hey Tom, the curtain's being drawn over.
But for me, that would be terrible. Imagine just
would be
being
terrifying.
laying there, James,
Oh yeah,
knowing
yeah,
people are talking around you. One of my friends was in a coma,
Hmm.
and he said he could hear everything that was going on.
yeah.
But he just couldn't respond. He just couldn't open his eyes. He couldn't talk. But he was, he was translating, expressing what was said. He can't talk very well. But he was expressing what was said.
I'm moving like his toe and stuff.
No, he can't speak. He can't speak. He
No,
said-
when he was in a coma, like how was he like expressing?
No, he could just hear what was going on.
Oh,
so
right,
when he come
okay.
back round, then he can't speak very well, so he can't say word for word what we're saying. But he
Oh, right. So
he
generally,
was-
he can't speak.
generally he
All
can't
right,
speak anyway. But he
Okay.
was saying he could hear what was going on, but he just couldn't. It was like a dream. He said he was like, you're in a dream, you can hear what's going on, but you can't respond or can't wake up. How mental is
That
that,
is
James?
scary. That is scary.
People talking around you, making decisions for you, and you're freaking sat there.
Imagine they're
going,
just proper slagging you off.
you just
Your partner say, God, I never.
I wouldn't care
His
as long as they
dick
don't
is
turn
so
the
small. I've never liked him.
I wouldn't care as long as they didn't turn the machine off, James.
know.
Just imagine that.
Well,
though.
they usually go on brainwaves, don't they? Before
Yeah.
they make decisions like that. So I suppose if there's a lot of activity there, or there's activity there, they're always cautious not to flick it off.
Knowing my luck, some freaking
Yeah. There's not much going on upstairs. Flick it
Yeah.
off.
James, there's questions. It's debatable whether much going on there when I'm awake.
Yeah. Any more stories? Do you know, I'm fed up of fucking Brexit, though, Tom. I gotta be
I
honest.
just kind of wish. Well, it's next week, isn't it? It's meant to happen.
It's just fucking dragging on.
Yeah, it's all Brexit. It's all Brexit.
Like, I'm looking for Sky for news now. All right.
Well, this I got.
Euro Millions winner.
Ooh.
Is he a time traveller? Let's have a look. Aid Goodchild.
Oh, God.
The lucky Briton who won the £71 million Euro Millions jackpot is Aid Goodchild, a factory worker from Hereford. The 58-year-old says he celebrated with his win by watching the Wales v Ireland rugby match with his parents and a takeaway pizza.
Nice. See, don't you like that, James? The humility in people, the humbleness.
Oh, you
I
lucky
love all
bastard.
That.
You lucky bastard.
I just love it when people do
Look
mundane
how happy
things.
that guy is, like a pig in shit.
Wouldn't you be?
Wow. Nah, good luck to him. Good
Yeah,
luck to him.
great. But I love these people who do the most mundane things. I think there was one guy who won the lottery, James, right? He basically, his wife called him and said, oh, we've won the lottery. He didn't believe her, carried on working. They come home the night. She's like, oh, yeah, we celebrate with a chippy and a cup of tea. And I was thinking, what a man. He's gonna make the most of that money, James.
Celebrating with a chippy and
A cup of tea. Like, what would you do? I don't know what, I'd just pass out. I'd just collapse.
Oh, it would be huge. The whole world's changed forever.
Yeah, and your family, like... you could just... 'cause
Again,
all
something like that, you can't just take lightly. You have to kind of...
really think about
really
it.
think about. And also, there are serious ramifications of winning the lottery, especially money. Like I've said before, I don't want to go over all ground again, but you would have to. I would think it would be wise to keep it a secret. To be honest,
Yeah, you
like
wouldn't
this
be
guy
saying
now, everybody knows how much money he's got.
Wait, he hasn't got his address, has he?
No, but if you know him.
No, but that's what I mean. We could send a message and say,
no, but
hey, mate, come on.
That's 70 odd minutes. So let's say he's got family and he only gives him $500,000. He'd be like, fuck you, Aid.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Tight bastard.
Yeah.
$500,000, you got freaking 70 million.
Exactly, but do you want that shit? I wouldn't want that shit. I want to be like, you know, I'd just be saying, look, I'm not going to go into it, but I have some money and here's some money. I mean, $500,000 then. $500,000 is a fucking lot of money anyway, to be honest.
Jesus
but
Christ,
you'd be surprised. Well, let's say he just gives you 20 grand, you know, you're like a distant cousin or whatever. I don't know. You'd be thinking, you tight bastard.
Yeah.
But
good on him. Good on him. So, James, I've got an interesting story.
Yeah.
So the headline is, a 3-year-old boy remembers his past life, locates his body and identifies the man who murdered him.
Is this legit?
Yeah, well, supposedly. So,
It's traumatic for a kid to remember being murdered, though, isn't it? Does this say any details on that? Who he was and how he was murdered?
It does. It's a really long article, but basically, in short, this boy, he basically claims that he. Right, let's try and find it.
So we should read the articles before we go on the...
No, James, where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that, James? So basically this young kid claims he remembered his past life. In his past life, he died as a result of being murdered. Went and freaking found his body and the poor bugger who killed him. Imagine that guy, right? So this guy...
So was it a recent murder then?
Yes.
Fuck it. All right, let's read the article
Right,
too.
this case...
Is it in the thing, is there? All right, okay, right, let's scan through this.
Yeah.
Right, so, because we need to know.
No, James, we don't.
Right,
okay then.
A lot of dead air now.
So this it starts with a doctor named Eli Lashk, a prominent physician in Israel who served as a senior consultant in the coordination. Right. So the present-day boy, whose name remained confidential throughout the entire study, has also had a birthmark in exactly the same spot which he was meant to be murdered in, which is quite interesting. And apparently in multiple studies that's happened. So in multiple studies where people claim they were shot or whatever, they have birthmarks there.
All right.
So the boy's father and other relatives in the village decided to visit a neighbouring community to see if his past life identity could be established, and the doctor was invited. That doctor was invited to go along with him. On his journey, they visited multiple villages until the boy remembered the right one. Which is a bit weird. You think you'd know, wouldn't you? But dying might confuse things, mightn't it?
How old is he? 3?
He's 3, yeah. He remembered his own first and last name, as well as the first and last name of his murderer. Well, right, yeah. So a member of the community whose boy had heard the story said that they'd known the man and the boy, and that he... Oh, guys, so a guy still living knew the boy. Knew the person who claimed to have been murdered.
So somebody said they knew who the boy's saying he used to be.
He was. The man disappeared 4 years earlier and was never found. It was assumed that he had come to some misfortune, but it wasn't know how, if he was killed or just disappeared or taken prisoner on the border, because he was between Israel and Syria.
Right, okay.
So the group went to the village. At one point, they pointed out... the boy pointed out his past life house. Curious bystanders gathered around, and suddenly the boy walked up to a man and called him by name. And yeah, basically...
Literally fingered him then?
He fingered the guy who murdered him, yeah. He used to be his neighbour. They had a fight and he killed him with an axe.
Fucking hell.
Jesus.
Wow.
He even pointed out where the boy was buried.
That's a violent fucking...
That's a freaking horrible way to go.
That's a violent act for a young child to kind of recall.
Yeah.
I reckon the dad had something to do with it.
Well, apparently the boy led the group, which included the accuser. That sounds a bit bullshitty to me. Would you go along as if you know you murdered someone, this little kid comes up and go, you murdered me, and then he's like, come on, I'll even point out the body.
I wonder how that stands up at a court of law.
Yeah.
Could you is that... I mean, you would probably have more questions around the father than the actual person being accused.
Well...
Because, I mean, let's face it, like, really, in a rational society and logical thinking, you couldn't just jump ahead to,
Yeah.
he's reincarnated. You would question where the information is coming from.
Well, yeah.
And you would have to assume the parents had something to do with it.
It would be a weird case. Well, I don't know. Different countries have different laws. So basically, he led them to a pile of stones, and he basically said, "You buried my body, those stones, and the axe over there." And he pointed out where the axe was found. The murder weapon and the body, that's a bit odd. The excavation at the spot under the stones revealed the skeleton of an adult man wearing clothes of armour, and on the skull they found a linear split consistent with an axe wound. Yeah, how strange, James. How strange.
Well, yeah, if I'm totally cynical, I would look towards the dad. I would look towards the dad.
Imagine that, though. Imagine you murder someone, got away with it, and some little kid
Then how is the
walks
child
up.
like? You know, I mean, how is he like? I mean, that's what I would want to know. Like, you know, a kid of 3 doesn't see axe murders in his head and go,
Yeah.
I think he's by the stones. Yeah, everyone follow me. Come on, I'll
It
show
would be
you.
quite compelling if a little kid said that, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but then if a kid is seriously witnessing or remembering such a traumatic fucking event, I mean, that would have some. You would
Mentally, yeah.
you would
just
see some type of.
absolutely
I mean,
petrified
obviously-
of axes and stones.
Yeah. No, you would be though.
Yeah, of course you would.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I mean.
fucking hell, you'd be like, shit, fuck the axe, I'm not fucking going with those again. You know, but you would be then, you could have nightmares, you know? So I'd be
Wow.
interested to know if that was the case. I mean, if this 3-year-old's just slinging dick, cool as fuck, yeah, he's by there, the axe is by there, good day, everyone, I've done my business for today, you know.
Off with his head.
Yeah, you would ask questions. I mean, I would look towards the parents on that one.
But it would be intriguing, wouldn't it? Imagine a little kid just knocked on your door
Yeah.
and just said, and you knew you killed someone, and this kid's like, you murdered me.
Yeah.
The
You made
body's
him, I
over
felt
there.
like, fuck off.
All right, then well, I'll take you there. No, actually, the tea's on.
Yeah,
The
I'd
dinner's
moved
on.
there. Imagine I was actually, you'd be fucked, wouldn't you? Killing anybody. Imagine that. Imagine that was a real thing accepted by all and proven to be real. Reincarnation was the truth. And then you go killing somebody thinking, fuck, that kid's, you know, whichever body's going to jump into next, he's going to come back knocking on my fucking door.
Jesus, that'd be terrifying, wouldn't it? Like,
Do you know what I mean? Like you would
think it was God sent, wouldn't you? That would be enough to turn you religious, wouldn't it?
Well, it's proven to be the case. But, well, I don't know.
Wouldn't it? Would that be enough to make you turn
Well, if
religious?
it's proven to be absolutely true, that reincarnation was real.
No. If a kid turned up at your door and said, "Listen, you murdered me,"
Yeah, but let's say you were aware of a murder that happened, right? But you were for some reason, if you were to pinpoint that person yourself, you would be thrown into the mix or whatever.
yeah.
And then you thought, I'll just create some bullshit thing. Oh, maybe my 3-year-old is reincarnated as the victim or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And then you would then perhaps push that kind of.
And especially in some countries
idea.
where they're a lot more religious, aren't they?
Yeah,
Like
you could
in
easily.
religious countries.
Yeah. It was what country was it, or where was it to, where the government was seen to be throwing a lot of money towards the paranormal, like millions of pounds go to like exorcism? Was someone in Africa? I heard somewhere. It was somewhere.
I know the Russians.
Where they threw the government now
Yeah.
threw a lot of money towards like funding like fucking exorcisms and stuff like that. You're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I know the Russians invested heavily in the paranormal at one stage.
Yeah. I mean,
They
I'm
were
all of
really
it in terms of
involved in-
research. I mean,
Yeah.
research it, but I mean, they weren't actually doing it, you know, as like I don't know, like funding fucking bin men or you know some part of the council
Jesus.
or whatever. It was like this kind of like
Imagine that job.
yeah. You could just bullshit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's been a busy week. 5 exorcisms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we're gonna need more money this week.
Yeah.
You know,
Double the budget.
It's on the rise.
It's getting serious.
Yeah, definitely.
Imagine that, though. That would be a weird job, wouldn't it?
I think it exists, mate, in some countries. What about this? There's always a story that of offence. The news today about Peppa Pig and fireman Sam accused of sexism by
Yeah,
London
why Peppa
Fire
Pig, though?
Brigade.
It's Fireman Sam, I don't agree, but I kind of understand because
Well,
the
I understand the
fireman.
fireman. Right, so. All right, here we go. So, children's TV show Peppa Pig and Fireman Sam have been accused of sexism by the London Fire Brigade. It comes after an episode used the term fireman instead of firefighter. Come on, at Peppa Pig, we've not been firemen for 30 years, tweeted the brigade. So, I think in Peppa Pig they used the phrase fireman. right?
Right.
So they've been accused of sexism. You have a huge influence on kids, and using out-of-date, stereotypical, gender-specific wording prevents young girls from becoming firefighters. No, I don't believe that at all. Well,
do people believe?
Yeah, you should promote. You should promote a certain career to all kids, whatever gender they are, and say, the career path is there for you if you wish to take it. So the opportunity is always there. Whether it's saying it's only for, that's real sexism if you're saying it's only for men.
Yeah, if you was fireman, you could only be a fireman for a man. Yeah.
So to innocently suggest that kind of it's for men, you should just be mindful of that. But I wouldn't say it's an out-and-out sexist thing to say. And of course, Fireman Sam. Well, should you change it to Fire Person Sam or Firefighter Sam?
Yeah,
or whatever?
If you were to change anything, or are you Firefighter Sam?
But then he's a fireman. He's a male, and his name's Sam.
It's just correct, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's correct that way.
Yeah.
Like if it said Fireman Louise,
then
obviously
right.
But plus it's a series that's been a part of our childhood fucking years. My son loved Fireman Sam.
Yeah, funny enough, I like Fireman Sam.
Yeah, but
do you think it's that much of an issue though? Do people really? Do you think it's just a couple of people bothered?
I did watch. I'm quite worried of how much I'm agreeing with Piers Morgan lately. That is worrying me, if I'm totally honest. Who was the big wig of the fire? What do they call the head of the fire department?
Oh, she was on this morning, wasn't she? She was like head of.
Fucking
whoever's
apologies for that, but like the big wig in the fire service is a woman.
Yeah.
The commissioner, the police force is a woman.
Yeah,
so these top jobs in the fire and policing are both women. Prime Minister's a woman. Do we live in a sexist society, Tom?
I don't think so.
Do we live in a sexist country?
I think it's more equal now than it's ever been. Yeah, in the past, I agree. It probably has. I think in the past,
they were
has.
Cleaning, for example. That was a gender role for women, but I understand why. Because women generally. Like we all have our strengths and weaknesses. Different genders have different strengths and different weaknesses, and we're more. You could argue this is socially constructed, but I don't think it is at all. So when we talk about cleaning, generally women are more organised and better at it. Doesn't mean that's all they can do and that's all that they're about. But don't forget, maternal ambitions, nesting. That's all to do with creating
Do you think it's more the type of job? Because they're quite flexible jobs, aren't they?
Well, that as well.
Because with a lot of people who you work with, is it like part-time roles?
There's only part-time hours for cleaning roles, but obviously, and that's before or after school hours. But then, which probably wouldn't make sense for a lot of. Mums who are single, who have childcare issues, you probably wouldn't pick a job like that because of the hours. But so there are roles, there are jobs which are more for which entice certain genders. Like nursing is predominantly female, and there's a lot of care involved with that, and that's probably why engineering is predominantly male because it's engineering, and a lot of women. Not saying that, but that's the thing. You got these fucking twats now with their ears pricked. What do they say? It's not for women. It's it's not at all.
Yeah.
There is a spectrum, right? On gender. There's for males and females, and and yes, of course, males become nurses, and I dare say they make really good nurses, but predominantly it's women. Engineering, I dare say there's some good female engineers, but predominantly it's fucking male.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
I just think so.
And that's something that's not set by society. That's natural from within.
It was funny, we were just talking about, like, naturally, I think male, female and males, men and women, we gravitate to different things. It was like Alfie, right? When he was younger, my mum, she's got two nieces, 4 grandchildren, 2 boys and 2 girls. nice and split down the middle. So they have got, in my parents' house, it's just a mix of toys. They're not separated, they're just toys.
Yeah.
And it's just funny how children gravitate. Like my son gravitated towards cars and footballs.
Yeah.
Like I'm not into cars, so it was not influenced from me.
Because
Girl doesn't really.
Because women generally, right, gravitate towards, like, they're more interested in people and faces. Boys generally are more intrigued by things.
Yeah, like,
tools, cars, like
Yeah.
fucking, that's just naturally, that's what we're drawn to. If you put us all in a fucking jungle, right, I guarantee you we'll be building and the women will be nurturing and nesting and creating and all those kind of things naturally. There probably are women in the jungle who think, fuck that, I want to go build a fucking house. And there's, so there's a spectrum and it's not set in stone, but that's just naturally what we're,
I just think it's individuals, isn't it, Jay? Some people, like you said, I think just it's not down to sex. I don't think. I just think it's down to individuals, isn't it?
What do you mean? What were they drawn to?
Yeah.
Well, to a certain extent, yeah. But I think naturally, as a man,
you're
more into kind of things you could do with your hands or building or dealing with not dealing with people.
Yeah.
Women tend to go into positions and jobs where you're dealing with people or care.
Yeah.
That's just natural.
And I think it's different because obviously women's careers are different from men because men don't have long breaks from work, do they? As in, if you were gonna not all women have children, of course, but like.
But that is a factor. Majority of women
because
do.
Obviously men, you start a job as a bloke, and then obviously you work. You don't have, what is it?
Don't you feel this?
Children?
Don't you feel this like fire under your feet when you discuss these things of like you don't want to say the wrong thing at the wrong fucking time because people think you're sexist, and that's the point we get into. There's natural, right? You're like. There's like natural things we do as a man and natural things we do as a woman, and there is a spectrum, so it does vary. There are more masculine women and there's more like fucking effeminate men. There's more of each, but there are on both sides. There's a spectrum, and I just think sometimes to try and pretend that's not the case, you're a fucking moron.
I think, in short, I just think that we are all different. And that's fine. That's fine to say we're all different. And but you should all be treated the same. Treat everyone the same. Yeah. But we are different, and there's no harm in saying that.
The opportunities are there for everybody.
No, I agree. More
and there are stories
definitely.
of positive fucking discrimination now because we're going too far the other end.
Yeah.
Let's just keep ourselves in check. We can all get along.
I think people just got to use bloody common sense, haven't they, James? I just
think
now. Obviously
they're banning Peppa Pig and Fireman Sam.
Yeah, I don't get that bit. I really don't like.
Crazy world.
I don't get that at all. Like, what's the harm in saying he's a fireman or a firewoman?
Well, if it's a fighter that's a female, then call it a firewoman.
Yeah.
Whatever, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Right. Things to do today, so we're going to call it a day already.
People to see.
So Let's Chat Podcast. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, like. My phone's just
started listening to us.
listening.
Siri's listening.
James. I know. So please like and subscribe. Join us on the Facebook page, Let's Chat Podcast, yahoo.com. No, that's not that's the email. Let's Chat Podcast. Fucking Google search us. We're on everything. All right. Get in touch and goodbye.